On my project, I learned not only a lot about programming, but about project management as well. This was not only a project for myself, but a major project for the robotics team that needed to be finished in an accurate and timely manner. Before this project, I had very little programming experience, but after the completion of it, I believe I can now be considered a programming expert. Throughout the creation of the website, I needed to store different kinds of information in one variable. In past websites, I would use multiple variables to store different kinds of information. But in this project, I picked up the use of arrays. Arrays are stored in a single variable, but they contain a list of information using keys and their respective values. Using arrays are much more efficient than multiple variables because you can see the data flow throughout the entire website. I was surprised when I saw how much work goes into a full-fledged project. I've spent hours thinking out how one feature would function, even though it may not have been that complicated. The most difficult project-spanning obstacle was that I had to overcome was keeping the programming code optimized. Optimization involves keeping code as small and practical as possible. The larger and more redundant code is, the longer it takes for the server to process, and the longer it takes for the page to load for the cursor. This will make the bandwidth run up if it takes a long time for the process. Bandwidth is the amount of data that is allowed to be transferred to the server to the viewers, and that's set by the administrator. This is usually reset every month. The most important part of this project is personal growth. I've learned a lot about myself. Before this, I created a website. Before this, all websites that I created, I did not like taking any kind of criticism. This was mainly because all that work was mainly for me. No one really else would use any of my projects. Because this website was going to be used by multiple people, including the team and even visitors in robotics, I had to make sure it was the best that it could be. So because of this, I had to be able to accept critique, even though sometimes it was a bit harsh. I also learned that I'm a very structured person. I believe that everything should be authorized. For example, anytime I wanted to add or change anything to the website, I sought permission from Mr. Troy, who would give me the yes or no to do whatever I needed to do. While this is a slow process, it ensures that no wasted work is completed, as something may not get approved, and all that work that might have been spent was just wasted. I also applied this to the website itself, as, for example, posting articles. You can't do anything unless the article itself is approved. Mr. Troy has come to respect this, as he's now completely involved with the project, and nothing happens without his direct authorization. My future plans quite possibly include being a programmer of some sort. My immediate plans are to be in the United States Marine Corps as enlisted personnel. My MOS, or Military Occupational Specialty, would be Explosive Ordnance Disposal Specialist. This MOS involves disarming, transportation, and rendering safe of explosive or hazardous material and ordnance. I would use programming experience that I've obtained through this project, as well as robotics in general, to help design, build, and program systems to assist DoD specialists in rendering safe of such ordnance. I am unaware at this point of my exact date of departure. I am eligible for this MOS because I scored a 79 on the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB. A score of at least 50 is required by the United States Marine Corps to be eligible for any job or MOS. This score means I have scored higher than 79% of people who have previously taken the ASVAB. With this career, I plan not to only do what I've always wanted to do, but also serve my country. I will serve my term of 20 years with the United States Marine Corps, and then I plan to retire. After I retire from the military, I will join the Pennsylvania State Police or United States Marshal Service, so I will receive a paycheck plus a pension check from the United States Marine Corps. In conclusion, I completely enjoyed this project. What I loved most was that I was able to not just benefit myself, but be part of a team. This team is complete with the camaraderie that is expected to come with a team environment. Honestly, I first chose this project because it was much different than others, and the team needed help with something that I could contribute to. In the end, it was worth so much more than just a project. Not only have I contributed to a high school extracurricular activity, but I've contributed to a community with thousands of high school students, which is known as FIRST. Out of all my web projects, this is my Mona Lisa.